providing simple questions. Uh, we see protests all over the United States and all over the world, but we don't have a Black leader. We have Black leaders. We have multiple leaders, but we don't have a Black leaders because nobody's out there providing the proper protection that we need for a leader to do what he has to do and at the same time protect his own family as he's trying to protect us.
Yeah.
So, it's unfortunate, but it is part of the evolution of revolution. It's how we evolve based upon the conditions in which we're forced to live in. All species on this earth evolve. They evolve because of environmental conditions, which is how it works, which is how they survive, which is how we survive. We survive on the shoulders of those who came before us. You know, we skipped the generation because we had Black leaders in the 60s, but we didn't have a lot of Black leaders in the 80s and in the 90s. So we skipped the generation. And it's through the grace of God that you guys are trying to reclaim what it is that was lost. You know, and you asked the question, what was life growing up in San Diego? You know, it reminded me of the plantations that Blacks were brought north, and from north they came south, and from the south they went west. And they would provide slum housing by the federal government, who also allowed local officials to give those same slum housing to people of color and to allow them to live in certain areas where they could use them better. A lot of them worked in military facilities. A lot of them worked in the fields before they started mass migration, you know. So to me, it reminded me of both systematic and institutional racism. It reminded me of plantation behavior. As a kid, I saw how Blacks and people of color were mistreated in the schoolrooms and in classrooms. You know, Malcolm X spoke about it.
Can you clarify what years those are too, or what year you were in school?
Well, I was 4 or 5 when I started noticing things. So I'm 71 now.
Years young.
I
said years young.
Yeah. So you do the math. I don't want to do the math.
No, I got you. Don't even worry. Don't even worry. We got you. That was like the 60s.
No. I was born in 49. So.
Yeah, so that was going to be my bad. I was going to say the 50s. My bad.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It is your bad. So, so it had to be around 1955, 1956. Right? Because I think I was the same age as my dad, 56'4". So that was the age I was. But I was aware because the black mothers basically stayed at home or did hotel work. They were working as maids, or they could get a maid job, and raising to the best of their ability their black families. But I was reminded constantly by my mom uh, what I was up against in life.
Yeah. At a young
And
age, like at a young age.
yeah, like I said, 4 or 5.
Yeah. And it's
Right.
crazy because that happens right now too.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the point I'll get to. Right now, at that age, like I said, I saw the abuse of students, and I was abused as a student. I
What?
saw landlords when I was sick and couldn't go to school, sneaking in the neighborhoods and in the projects uh, to the home. They were late on their rent, and this I know personally, and how they would demand sex, for late rent.
What?
And then give them sex, they would face eviction. I mean, this went all throughout the project and all throughout the black community.
That's
You know,
crazy.
it's madness. It's like plantation behavior.
Yeah.
Um,
And this is in San Diego. For the people that's watching, I just want to let y'all know.
at the time, I was living in Coronado.
Coronado. Okay. What? Oh my God.
Well, because of the naval base,
Yeah.
and my dad was working at the naval base, so he brought his family there because he had a job there, and he could bring his family from Louisiana, where my mom and dad was from. But I was born here,
Yeah.
so that's how we ended up in Coronado, not because we uh, had a life of Riley, but because they had projects there for the workers and for the people of color to do the work. But I learned about systemic and institutionalized racism from a social level by white slumlords sneaking in, demanding sex to rent. I saw it from an economic point of view, how we were charged uh, uh, excessive rent for slum housing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Can I
What?
pause you real quick, Mr. Trunell, just because we want to do a little intro to the podcast we've been recording.
Yeah.
Thank everybody for coming to the Activated Podcast. My name's Real Walter Ford.
Yeah.
You
you already know. You got a cue.
It's your boy GDQ. Sorry, my bad. I was on mute.
Oh no, you good? Oh, yo, I didn't know you was on mute. I got you blocked on my screen.
No, it's all good. And it's your boy Mac 2301.
Today we have a legend. We have a piece of history here with us. Like, we're honored and blessed. He's a San Diego native. He also used to be part of the legendary Black Panther Party. Mr. Trunell, we really appreciate you, especially with those kind opening words. Like you man, you just blew my mind in the first 5 seconds. My apologies for cutting you off. We just wanted to give an introduction that you deserve. This man has done more than 5 lifetimes worth of achievements that people have done. And we just thank him for even taking the opportunity out here to talk to us and spread this knowledge and wisdom that we think like the whole world needs to hear, especially on our platform. So my bad for cutting you off, Mr. Trunell, but I just wanted to give you the proper intro that you deserve.
Well, thank you guys very much. I want to give you guys proper too, because we're entering into a state of affairs here where things can get very dangerous for us.
Yeah.
And Go ahead, Walter.
Oh no, I just said yeah. I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah. We're getting to the point where we're getting ready to unveil certain things to the citizens of the United States. You look at the protests, and you have more uh, uh, white people, straight to the point, than blacks.
Yeah, yeah. Or
You know?
yeah, yeah. Or people just not of color too, because I've been seeing some Asian people. I've been seeing some. I mean, us in the Latin community kind of always been there too, but yeah, yeah. It's kind of
There's a
everybody now. Middle Eastern
right,
people.
right, and there's a reason for that, because like me being awakened by my mom, white people are being awakened by realities. They see what we've been trying to say uh, for years, and they're ashamed and they're afraid. They're afraid of where the country's going, and rightfully so. But they're the children of Beelzebub. They're the children of those that want to keep us down. And unfortunately, things are moving slowly in our favor, but at a rate that we don't control.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Rate. They control the rate, because part of our protesting and part of what we need to do is corporate awareness.
Could you repeat that? What awareness?
Or
corporate awareness. Corporate awareness.
Yeah.
We are governed by corporate awareness, whether it's styles, what clothes we're going to wear, what food we're going to eat.
Yeah. Ooh, you better say that.
Houses we're going to live in, what cars we're going to drive, what jewelry we're going to wear. There you go. We are governed by corporate awareness. And corporate awareness is protected by the police. They try to protect Wendy's, McDonald's, Target, Burger King, Bank of America. They're not there to protect our community. They're there to protect their community.
Yeah. Do you think that's more money focused?
It's all money focused. That's why you see on the news that businesses are being recognized. They are recognizing that if they don't get on the truth, then they're going to lose a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Pandering.
That black dollar.
Right.
Pandering.
This is a capitalistic system. But we're not fighting a capitalist fight. We're fighting a social fight, which pisses a lot of people off because they want to call it socialism that we're demanding. That's why Senator Sanders had such a difficult problem, because he has social ideas. Social ideas and corporate ideas, unfortunately, they exactly.
Yeah.
They bump heads.
Mm-hmm.
But as a Black Panther, we have always understood that. So we call for social capitalism. Now, social capitalism is the best of both. You know, the both for capitalism, like you have a right to earn a living, and earning that living is capitalism. You know, you have a right to engage in community activities and individual activities, like sports and entertainment, you know, and those are social activities. So we have a blend in the Black and brown community and in the white community of both those factors, right?
Yeah.
That's part of the evolution of revolution.
I love that saying.
And you get down to the first question. The answer to the first question is we have to engage today in economic, social, and political theaters. You know, we got a lot of cities protesting. Well, as you protest, register people to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And while you're protesting, explain to them why it's important. You have to control local politics if you want to get a handle on national politics.
Ooh, that's so powerful. I think that's so powerful because especially like in my generation, like and probably the generation before ours and after ours, up until now, I didn't even think a governor was important, let alone local politics.
Yeah, because
You know, it just wasn't a thing. We're not taught that.
well, right when about Brahma, when the last president,
Yeah. Obama. Yeah. Obeezy.
whatever his name was, but he was a black guy. When he left office, he said that what he could leave with the American people was you need to fight against the ideology, you know, uh, if we want to win this battle. And I think we kind of took that in the wrong way because when you fight against ideology, you start from the basics.
Yeah.
And the basics is local politics. The mayor, planning commission, school board, chief of police, fire chief, city council members, right?
Yeah.
Now you have control. Now you guys can get that control because you have a vehicle. And that vehicle right now is all the protest.
Exactly.
You know, all you got to do is get all these protesters to say, look, as we protest, there are 5 things that we got to get out there, that we got to do. Let's take over local politics. Take over local politics, you're in the running.
Say no more. I agree with that totally. And like I had to learn that too. Like I had to learn that. Because like you said, the local politics are what actually affects you directly.
Well, and I've been learning about local politics for a long time, but it's the same thing. I always thought it didn't matter
It wasn't
at all. So
yeah, it mattered, but it wasn't like
it doesn't.
Yeah.
We've been purposely taught to not care about local politics.
Exactly.
You guys just hit it on the head. They did not teach anybody in the schools of education from secondary school all the way up to university, unless it happened to be your major in political science. But they didn't, for reasons, teach civics. You didn't learn civics in school. If you did, you were in a very special school.
Exactly.
They don't teach civics. Now, they're starting to teach civics because all awareness of the people of color who are also academicians, people of color that are academicians, realize the importance of civics for their people. You need to know who's keeping you down and why. And that's civics. You need to know why you don't have good schools and teachers. That's civics.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I grew up in one of the worst school systems in my state. Like the worst. I'm sorry. The worst. Yeah. And in the country too.
Right. You need to know why you can't live in a certain community because they're going to charge you 15% or 20% more than anybody else. And the redlining, that's civics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know, that's the key when you walk out your house. You know, whatever you do in your community as an individual in all those areas, economic, social, and political, is civics. They didn't teach it, Walter, because they didn't want you guys to know what it is. Now you're awake, you know what it is.
And that's power.
Talk about power. The power you have is power that is inherited. You inherited this. You didn't just wake up and all of a sudden run into Mac and Quinn. You know, it happened for a reason. So you guys can work together to develop a platform in which you can reach out. When we did it back in the 60s, they killed us.
Yeah.
You know,
Everybody.
As I mentioned in my notes, I joined the Black Panther Party because of the systemic and institutionalized racism. You know, I became a member.
How old were you when you joined, if I may ask?
I was 17.
Oh, snap. Okay.
I was 17.
Full of energy.
Full of something. I had a choice between the Black Panther Party and the Nation of Islam. Now, they both were trying to recruit me, but I chose the Black Panther Party because it gave me an opportunity of self-defense. Now, both of them believe in self-defense, but the Black Panther Party was a little more paramilitary self-defense, where we carried guns and we protected people on the street, and we had a newspaper that we could get out to the community and the world. So for me, having grown up understanding racism and institutionalized racism, it was a perfect opportunity. When I joined the Black Panther Party, I became a lieutenant and I became the deputy minister of education. My job was to educate my chapter.
Was your chapter in San Diego, or were you in Los Angeles, or?
It was in San Diego at first.
Yeah.
It was out of San Diego State University.
Really?
I was recruited out of San Diego State University.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, well, the leaders of San Diego, the Black Panther Party, are out of San Diego State University. You know, Kenny Denman, who was our leader in San Diego, was also out of San Diego State University. When he was recruited by Eldridge Cleaver and David Hilliard, I believe.
Eldridge Cleaver, though. That's yeah.
Well, Eldridge Cleaver used to speak down on 26th and Imperial, right there on the corner. There's a church there, right? There's a church right down on across the street from where Ragsdale used to be, on 26th and Imperial in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined, became a lieutenant, became the deputy minister of education, and then I was selected to become a member of the Vanguard. The Vanguard responsibility to protect the leader.
Okay.
But we also, yeah, but we also were covert and overt operatives. You know, so we did things that were out of the limelight of regular members,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to stay abreast of what the FBI was doing, trying to identify and kill us.
Oh my gosh. And so were you just like kind of plain clothes agents, or you just kind of would
Yeah,
do
when I was in the Vanguard, the only time I was in uniform was when the leadership was traveling from one spot to another spot.
Makes sense.
But other than that, yeah, I was in plain clothes. You couldn't tell me from anybody else in the crowd. You know, I would dress accordingly. They tried to kill me in San Diego
What?
because they saw me come back to San Diego from San Francisco.
When you say
And
they, can you elaborate?
yeah, well, they were brutalizing us so bad in San Diego.
The police?
Yeah, FBI, not the police.
Oh, the FBI. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
FBI. And they had paid informants. And some of those informants were paid by J. Edgar Hoover to take us out, kill us. So they were trying to kill us, and I was trying to kill them.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
um,
Survival.
survival. And somebody informed on me, and so now they're looking for me to take me out. I happened to come through San Diego just for a minute because I was heading down to South America. But before I get there, I had to make a stop back at my home. And at that time, they found out I was in San Diego, and they mobilized on me. So I escaped from my house to a friend's house. And again, I was told, they were told where I was. They ordered everybody out the house. A friend of mine, a female, told me to come in the bathroom and take off all my clothes. I looked at her like, it's crazy. You know, this ain't no time for sex.
This is not the time to get freaky right now. This is the alphabet boy is outside.
Yeah. I got people trying to kill me, you know. And you want to have sex? Come on.
Yeah, you trying to get a nut off? I'm trying to survive.
Hey, what's going on here? So anyway, for some reason I did it. I took off all my clothes. She brought in women clothes. Helped me put it up and put a wig on. FBI said women and children first. And so I walked out with the rest of the women and children.
Wow.
I walked right past them on the porch, on the sidewalk, on the street, past the helicopter, and
They had a helicopter?
Yeah, and the news station wagon, station, whatever it was
Yeah.
in, and walked down the block, turn the corner, get another block, and had a van waiting for him. Got in the van and shot back up the open. So they thought they were so smart and so slick that I just walked right past their head.
Yeah, you got all the money and technology, you can't even find me.
But
Yeah.
hey, all that money can make you smarter.
There you go.
Mm.
There you go. They are not smarter than you guys. They're human beings. They think, they rationalize, they formulate, just like you guys have to do to get the message out. They're not smarter than you. A lot of them is just dumb, you know. But so I learned a lesson there, and that is never give up. You know, there's always a way to get away from the devil. You just got to be patient and listen to whatever way that provides you with that opportunity. You know, eventually they got me, and
In Oakland?
no, in San Diego.
Oh, in San Diego. Okay, you came back. Okay.
I came back again, tried to get over the border to get to South America, and I was back here in San Diego for about 3-4 days before they found out where I was, and the FBI and the marshals swooped down on me and had me surrounded, and I had no place to go. And I was by myself, so I didn't have any support down there.
Exactly. And in your time in the Panthers, would you say that spending that, I mean, because obviously, like you said, you had to do different resources, you had different jobs, you had to escape. Would you say that all of that sacrifice set us up for where we are today? Kind of like that movement that you guys did kind of started, or I guess was the catalyst to where we are today?
I do.
50 years later?
I do. Because at the time, there were organizations in California, in the South, like Student for a Nonviolent Student for a Nonviolent Coordinates Committee, SNCC. We had leaders like Stokely Carmichael and SNCC. We had
Stokely Carmichael. He's like my idol. Yeah, he's like my favorite.
H. Rat Brown. Of course, Malcolm X. You know, and
Edward Cleaver and his wife.
Yeah, and Kathleen
Cleaver.
Who scared me to death.
Oh yeah, can you explain that story like you told us?
I told you that story about Kathleen.
Yeah. Can you explain it for the podcast? Everybody else didn't get to hear.
Oh, okay.
Were you in the Vanguard at the time, technically?
I was on detail as a Vanguard. So I was in uniform. And I was sent by the Bobby Seale to provide protection for Eldridge Cleaver. So that was my detail. And the police and the FBI had orders to arrest Eldridge because they knew Eldridge was trying to get out of the United States to Algiers. and it was on Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving was also the time you're supposed to turn yourself in. So they had the house surrounded on 26th and Market Street in San Francisco. And that was the location of my detail. Now, we're all armed, and if they want elders, they got to come in and get them. And if they come in and get them, we're going to have a problem because we're going to have a shootout, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they never attacked the house.
And they knew that. Yeah.
Right. He just kept it surrounded. So that night, elders in another room listening to the Rolling Stones, and I'm in the hallway watching the front door. Kathleen comes out the kitchen with a bag, and she wants to go outside in the back and get rid of the trash. And I'm looking at her like,
You out your mind.
you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Let's do it in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, do it tonight, you know? I want to go outside and empty the trash. So I'm kind of forced to provide her with that security.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I don't have night vision, but you know, so I can't see through the dark.
Mm-hmm.
I just see so far in front of me, and that's it. Everything else is black. So there's a lot of reasons for me not wanting to go out there.
Yeah, exactly.
She's tripping, and we get in an argument. I lose the argument.
Well, as most of how it goes when you're arguing with women. Yeah, we lose. Yeah.
Yeah, I lose the argument. So I switch weapons. So I got small arms with me instead of long rifles. And I said, okay. So we go outside, and she's acting like a normal housewife, you know. And I'm looking at her like, ain't nothing normal about this chick. I mean, like, come on, Kathleen. So anyway, she do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And we were able to safely get out of the house and get back in without incident.
I think that's powerful though. I think that's really powerful. Just showing like that stoicism of like chaos completely around you, and you're still able to, you know, be calm, or, you know, at least, like I said, she was able to be like, you know what, I'm gonna just throw the garbage out like it's a regular, you know.
You know, that what I just told you guys was kind of like a little personal thing, you know, because I could not forget my role.
Exactly.
You know, I'm Deputy Minister of Education, a lieutenant in Black Panther Party. And those come first.
Exactly.
And my job is to protect and provide protection for the leaders, no matter how I feel about it.
Exactly.
That's the oath I took when I joined the Black Panther Party. So regardless of how I feel, I took an oath. So it's the oath that has me doing this thing with Kathleen. It ain't because I got all this love for Kathleen, no respect intended, but it's because of the love I have for my party,
Exactly.
for the people, you know. And I don't want to have any confusion about that. It's my oath that had me stick with Kathleen and do things that I thought might compromise our situation. And I told Kathleen as much, and which started another argument, which again she won, you know.
Yep.
So that was the extent of my involvement with Kathleen through all the times of being Elder's bodyguard.
Exactly. Right.
You know, I recruited another Vanguard to be her bodyguard instead of me trying to be Elder's bodyguard and her bodyguard.
At the same time.
But we had other Vanguards in there too. I wasn't the only Vanguard, but we all had different jobs.
Yeah, different details. Yeah.
Make it easy on yourself, in other words.
Yeah, yeah. Did you meet anybody else, I guess, that's really historic? I mean, you mentioned Bobby Seale earlier, who is obviously super historic.
Met everybody.
Met everybody.
It's my job.
Mm.
My job was to know anybody involved and connected with those that I was ordered to protect.
Did any of those people ever tell you anything or say any phrase or anything that I guess stood out to you that you still remember today?
You know, that's a good question.
If you need time, don't worry, man. I mean, that was a while ago, so I understand if yeah. Or anything, I guess, that you would tell my generation or tell us, from then that would still, have
resonate
weight now.
Still resonate now.
Yeah.
I would say David Hilliard. It was three of them that developed the 10-point platforming program that you hear about in the Black Panther.
Okay.
The three of them was Bobby Seale, David Hilliard, and Huey Newton. Those are the first three. And I didn't get along with Bobby Seale because I thought that he left out stuff. And the things he left out, I was forced to be able to clear a bodyguard. I didn't want the detail. Bobby Seale wanted me to have the detail. But David Hilliard encouraged me to take the detail. On that I disagreed, with Bobby Seale.
Exactly.
So I have a fond memory and great respect for David Hilliard because the way he dealt with what was going on around us. And that helped me a lot as I operated in my position as a Vanguard doing overt and covert operations. Because as a Vanguard, a lot of times I'm alone.
Yeah.
I'm operating by myself. So I always found solace when they never give up. Your job is to protect the people. That's why we have self-defense.
That's powerful.
Your job is to lay the foundation for us to come in, for members to come in, so we can teach our people self-defense and social, economic, and political survival. That's why we have the platform program, in which in it says we recognize that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. So I kind of remember that when I'm out there in the field, because David Hilliard always encouraged me that I would be alone in a lot of things that I did. And I had to remember, I was sent to Los Angeles after Eldred to do covert. And I had to be at UCLA on the Westwood campus at 11 o'clock Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
My weapon, my personal weapon, malfunctioned.
Oh my God.
And I had to get the gunsmith. On my way to the gunsmith, I was arrested by Lennox Sheriff Department in LA.
What?
And they threw me in the back seat, put a machete to my throat.
Damn.
And,
Wait. The police? Is this what you just said?
I'm sorry?
Who did this to you?
Lennox Sheriff Department.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No
Make sure
problem.
people understood that. Yeah.
So I get to LA, trying to find a gunsmith, pulled over by Lennox Sheriff Department. They threw me in the back seat of their car. One of them jumped in the back, kept looking around, pulled out the machete. It was going to cut my throat. It just so happened that they pulled me over by a nightclub, not about 3 blocks from a nightclub. Not 3 blocks, I mean 3 houses from a nightclub.
Yeah.
And they were coming out, and I was screaming out the window who I was and what was going on. And for them to make these phone call for me, which they acknowledged that they would do. So he gets mad, hits me with the machete, and cusses me out. So he gets back in the front seat and take me to jail.
So yelling out the window and being by that nightclub literally saved your life in that moment.
Not literally.
I mean, it did.
It saved my life because they would have found out that their prime objective was to take out the leadership. And I was one of the individuals that was required to protect the leadership.
You are one of the people that was in their way in terms of getting to the leaders, right?
Yeah, they had to get past me. So they take me to jail. The next day, that was a Friday night. The next day, Saturday, I was supposed to be at UCLA at 11 o'clock. I was staying with John Huggins and his wife, Erica. That was my location. And Bunchy Carter. Bunchy Carter was head of the LA section. And he had a lot of support because he used to be a gang member. And he headed the gang in LA. So he joined the Panther Party. And a lot of his gang members follow them. So they had a huge membership
Mm-hmm.
in LA because of Bucky Carter. So I'm in jail Friday. The meeting at UCLA Saturday. I can't be there to protect either one of them. And they get murdered.
Mm.
They get murdered by this black organization that worked for the FBI. And I was in jail a month before they just dropped all charges and let me out.
You say you spent a month in jail?
Yeah,
And they dropped all the charges right after.
yeah.
Sounds all familiar.
That's powerful. That's powerful, Mr. Trunell. Man, we don't want to end it here, man. We might have to get you back on, but our time is running low at the moment. I want to tell you first, thank you for like giving us this opportunity. I feel like you've opened a part of my brain and a part of my consciousness that I didn't even know I had. Like, this is before we get off of here, do you have any, I guess, any words that you would like to say, you know, parting, and any advice for the people that are in the fight right now and here forward?
I don't like giving advice, you
Mm-hmm.
know. It sounds so egotistical.
I like that. I like that. How about words of wisdom?
It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because all of you guys have experiences, and it's all about everyone sharing their experiences and where they go with those experiences. We don't have a black leader. I am not a black leader. No, I'm a follower. No, I follow the ideals, and those ideals are based upon my beliefs. What I would say though, you guys are on the right track. You need to reach as many can, because they need to know that you're here, you're there. There's other people doing other things. But if you don't stick and work and guide and educate the people, you're not doing anything. You got to get to the people, whether they're corporate officials, government officials, homeboy and homegirl, doesn't make any difference who it is. You need to get to, you need to get to law enforcement. It's hard for them to kill you if they know you personally. They're not going to do it. They're going to walk with you. They're going to fight with you, because a lot of them are you. So don't turn your back on your people, no matter who they are. You guys have opportunity in your generation to change the course of history. And if you don't do it, damn you. Because it may not be another chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in a global society, where global things happen, We're in a national emergency mode where things are happening. We know the president is stuck on stupid, so we have to treat somebody that's stuck on stupid, like they're stuck on stupid. That's it. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Trunell. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. As y'all have heard, this is Trunell Price, one of the members of the Black Panther Party.
San Diego legend, local.
San Diego legend. United States legend. Seriously. And this has been the Activated Podcast. My name is Walter Ford.
Mac 2301.
And it's GDQ. I just wanted to say thank you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on and all the hard work you've been putting in your entire life. And I know we're going to be dedicated to trying to do the same thing and building on what you did. And it's just amazing to be able to have this opportunity to be able to talk to you. So I really hope, we're going to get you back on soon. And because this has been the best conversation we've had on this podcast. So I just
Ever.
really, ever. We really appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And on that note, y'all, we love y'all. We gon' follow, subscribe, Activated Podcast. Hit that
I
button.
want to thank all you guys. I appreciate what you do.
We appreciate you too, Mr. Trunell.